Coucou. You are, the phone is on the ceiling. I'm gonna do a small video about just a small yoga on the floor, warming, simple, because some days my body don't want to go in posture, and it's like yesterday I was like starting to do the first posture of Bikram, and I was shaking and my body, and it was so bothering, and I was like bothered, and I knew a friend was going to call me, and I was praying that he called earlier to get me out of this nightmare of this session. But it was like I could not do it. My body didn't want to do it. So I thought, okay, it's time maybe to go back to the basics, very soft of Hatha yoga that I do regularly, and to be really in my body, to be really enjoying the feeling with simple movement. And so I'm going to show you. I start by warming up in rolling on the floor, and after I'm going to do some stretch. I'm going to try to speak loud enough for you to tell you what I'm doing because you cannot see. It's not very spectacular. It's not like posture really crazy, but it's very effective because you really put your attention on every part of your body and of the breathing, and you inhabit your body. You go in all the spaces, and I'm gonna try to explain, but it's difficult because it's very you have to be intimate with your body, and it's nothing extraordinary. It's very simple, very basic. So I'm gonna start by the warm up. So let's see if I am in the thing. Yes. So I do a rolling on my back. Like that. I did it before, so I'm already warm up. I do like 20 of these. It's what I was used to do when I was doing Aikido. We were doing this at the beginning, like to warm up, and it's good for the spine. Like that. And you enjoy to roll, just rolling. And only that is already good, it's like, and when you can, you do it and you stand up as well, but not too much, because sometimes it can be hard for the knees, but it's good to have the feeling to be able to stand up like that. I don't know if you see, like that. Voila. So when this is done, I can, it's good because the spine is warming up and you feel it. It's cracking a little when you roll, and it's great. So now what I love to do, I love to have my knees, like that. I take them. I put my arms to keep a balance, but also and after I do 8 figure, like the number 8, with my knees, like that. And I try to put my head in the opposite direction. It does a small twist. And it's good for the abdominals. And I go to the floor far away. And I come back and I go the other way, like that. And I can roll also side by side. My head in the other direction as my knees. My back is always stuck on the floor, really flat as much as I can. Usually, if I don't watch at you, my chin is toward my breast, my torso, like that. And after I can do the other direction. Ah, and you know, it's really good because it's even pull under the arms. All this is working. You know, it's like, it's a good feeling of extension of all that part. So it's not only that is working, but it's also all here. And this is a great relief. So I do that, like same 20, 30 times. I enjoy it because it's really pleasant. It massages your lower back and your butt as well. And and this extension of the arm, it's feeling so good, really, really good. Like that, side to side. And it's good when you put your accent on your abdominals. It's really good for your abdominals as well. Because here it's working on these obliques here. Like that. And it's good for all the lower back. So this is the first thing. After, what I do, I love to elongate my legs, and I'm gonna stretch only one side of the body. But before that, I'm gonna do a series of one respiration. So let me go up there. I hope you hear me. So what I do, I put my back really on the floor. I'm elongated. My chin gonna be toward my torso. I hold my rib cage down there. I hold it because when you hold the rib cage and you're gonna breathe very deeply, it's gonna oblige your back to extend. The purpose of that, in a way, is when you do it more and more, at another, I could say, dimension or level, you expand your awareness of your back. And your back is like the symbol of what we cannot see, of our unconscious. So more we are going to inhabit that part by consciousness, with our breath, putting our intention, more we're gonna elongate, this distance, with the breath, this is gonna enlarge in the back. More we're gonna be in touch with what we cannot see of ourself, or we cannot see the unconscious. And more we're gonna do this link, and more we're gonna be connected, and more we're gonna get signals, messages, information, because we have another vision. It's like we can see with our back, with the place we cannot see. It may be a little bit abstract, but this is my analyze. I am not read this in book. It's what I experimented since I do yoga since a very long time. So it's not very academic, but this is my experience. So I hold my rib cage and I'm gonna breathe in. And what is important, I'm gonna squeeze my perineum to don't push back my organs inside, but to hold it. This make work. I'm sorry about that. So I was saying that it's very important to hold this perine area, to squeeze it. When you do, if you do, me, I don't do abdominals, I do them when I walk, but my presence is there. Because this is very important to don't push back your organs. So I hold my rib cage, and I'm gonna breathe in, And I'm going to start to breathe in to bring the hair down, but most important is to enlarge the back. And it's going to be, as you hold the rib cage, it's going to be obliged to find some space, you know. So it does that. So first I blow a little bit, I contract my perineum, and I inhale, holding the rib cage. I hold the breath for like 10, 12, 15 seconds. And I exhale, pushing from the bottom, still holding the rib cage. And I am without air for 10, 15 seconds. And I let come. When I am with the air in, I put my awareness on my back. My rib cage is old, so my back is enlarging, and I put my consciousness there. I inhabit this space in my back. I am very present in my whole body, but mostly in my back. It's like I can see my back enlarged, bigger, and it gives me a kind of, more and more you do, it's like more and more you inhabit that space, and more you develop a vision with your back. It's difficult to explain that. So this is one thing. So I stay in retention with the hair in, and after 10, 12, 15 seconds, sometimes I go much longer. But at the beginning, 10 seconds can be great. And after I blow the hair and I squeeze the bottom to pull out that air, and I stay the same with my length without hair for 10, 12, 15, 20 seconds. I can stay even much longer, and I love it. I love when my body is empty of hair. It's like, it's easier for me to be without than with it, to hold when I'm empty. So, and during that time, I also put awareness on my whole body, but also on my back. And it's like I can see the muscles of my back, I can see my spine, I can see the bottom of my spine touching the floor, I can feel up to the point of my coccyx, I can be really connected also to the first vertebra, base of my skull. It's all that. So it's very meditative, and it brings a lot of peace. So I do each breathing in between each posture. For example, I did this rolling, I did that, I do the breathing. Now, for example, I can do another posture that is about bringing the legs and toward my torso, also my spine very flat on the floor. I engage that foot as well. I put it flex. We can let it relax, but I love to engage. I feel much better my bottom, my butt, my leg, my thigh. It helps me to have a better elongation. And I push that left foot towards the wall there. And it's a great thing to be able to have your back on the floor. The chin is down, and you bring this, and you try to have your leg not like that. You try to, and you can see both sides are different. So what I do to do this exercise, I do it two different ways. So I breathe in. I still think about the presence of my perineum when I breathe in to don't push. So I squeeze there. I can do it like that, breathing, like 30 counts. And I really bring more and more my knee toward my shoulder to the point it can stay there. It can stay there. And when you do that, you can feel that this is working a lot, and your abdominals too. Because your knee can go like that. No, you keep it and it stay there. And you try to make it, you feel the difference when it's straight like that, when it's twisted. You try to feel how in your body it makes a difference. And after you let go, and already you feel here how it's good. So I do the other side same way, and after I'm going to show you another way. So I squeeze down, I breathe in, I bring it, my shin down, I flex my foot very strong, my back is very flat on the floor, and you see this leg is the tendency to be more straight than the other one. The other one goes like that. This one cannot even go like that. This one is really straight. So I push the right foot towards the wall. My legs is very tonic, and I'm breathing. And I try to let that knee here. This one is harder to stay toward my shoulder. It's quite interesting when you see, how your body is different, sides are different. This one is more difficult for me to stay there. It could be there, sure, but it stays, but not easy like the other one. You see? So, voila. After you can do both legs. You put your consciousness in that part. When you raise your legs, when I raise my legs, my feet are pointed. I engage my feet pointing. And it's like they're going to scratch the floor. And when I do that, my thighs are very strong. So, like that, I breathe in. I bring them both. My shin, I elongate my spine under my skull, the top of my spine very elongated by putting my chin toward my torso. And I breathe there, like 30 count. I try to find space to breathe with my stomach. I am aware of squeezing my perineum. And now I'm going to let my legs here. And I engage that. This engage my abdominals to make that my legs, my knees stay toward my shoulder. And I still have my chin going down to elongate my spine. And my legs, it's like a little bit burning here to push them toward my shoulder. And I breathe there. And I let go. And when I let go, I put my feet together. My spine is very flat. My spine is elongated with my head, my chin toward and I'm gonna push my foot together very strongly up to the end very strongly with my spine always on the floor. It seems like nothing special is going on, but a lot of things are going on in that when you do it with this presence. Now the other way to do it is when you breathing. So same thing, always the spine very flat on the floor. You bring one knee and you breathe in. And you exhale. And you breathe. And when you do that, you bring your elbow toward the wall there. This gonna really pull your spine and your shoulder blade. You engage a lot. You try to be straight as well. My legs, you see this one has a tendency to be like that. And you bring your elbow in the same time towards the floor and towards the wall in front of you. And your chin is down. You put your chin toward your neck, your torso. And the other one, the other side. You can engage your other foot as well. Voila, and you let go. And both legs. And when you breathe here, as everything is squeezed, your breath, in fact, enlarge the top of your back in between your shoulder blades. It's all that part of the shoulder blades when you are here and you breathe there, everything is squeezed, there is no room. The only room that is free is when, as you are up, it's that part of the top of your back. And your breath extends that part, and it's a good feeling. It's also the heart center. So it's really, really good feeling. When you do it really, really, and you put it, and you bring, you squeeze very much, you squeeze strongly your knees toward your torso. So that part in the back, enlarge it, and you have more space to put the breath there. And it's really good. And you do the same. You put your feet together, you squeeze. Your back is really on the floor, and you push foot on foot, and you push, you push, you push, you push. And here you are. And now it's a holding cage thing, rib cage. So you exhale a little. You inhale. You hold the rib cage. You hold the breath. You squeeze down there. You hold without air. And you let the air come in. It's good. You see, more you're gonna do that, more you're gonna have a deeper sense of your body in and your body out, about your body and the space of your body inside, how it is inside, but also how it is inside and at the same time around you, your body in the space. It's quite very interesting because this air that you breathe it's there. There, it's beyond your body. And our invisible part that is much bigger than what we see here is also. And, um, and in fact, more we are present to this breathing exercise, more we do the connection in and out our body, but also in the body and out with the invisible part of us. So it seems to be a very simple, nothing special exercise, but it's more than a breathing exercise. It's really help to be connected to your wholeness. Because who is breathing? When you think about that, who is breathing? I have more the feeling that I am breathed than me breathing, because I cannot stop that. I can stop for a certain time, for 1 minute, 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes, it's possible for me. But there is like a push that makes me like, I cannot go more than that. I cannot decide to stop breathing and to stop it totally. I'm not at that point. Maybe some yogi does it, or but I can slow down. When you do that as well, what is happening when you are doing this breathing and when you do this exercise in consciousness, so it's very soft, but it's very powerful because a lot of muscles are working. You slow down as well it's like meditation. You slow down your heartbeat. It's not like when I do yoga exercise very intense. It's a different experience, and it's quite it's in a way it's like meditation. So now I'm going to do another exercise that I really love to do. It's very simple, but it's very good for the back. You put your feet close to your butt, flat on the floor. You're going to use your feet a lot. You're going to push with your feet. Like this is going to elongate your spine. Your chin goes down. And let me go a little bit maybe here, like that. So your feet are toward. Excuse me, another call. So I was saying that you're gonna push your feet on the floor, flat. You engage them. Your spine is totally, your back is really flat on the floor. This use your abdominals. You put your hand towards where you have your hips, where your legs are folding, and you're gonna push, putting your chin toward your chest, pushing with your feet on the floor, and pushing with your hands like toward your thigh. This elongates a lot your spine, and you're gonna put your awareness, breathing very deep, your awareness in your spine, in your back. And you squeeze and you breathe there. And you can stay the same, like you can stay 30 count, 1 minute. And you push, you push, you push. And you engage. Your butt is engaged as well. And you push with your hands. This works around your shoulder blades. And your spine is very flat on the floor. You imagine your spine very elongated. It's really, really strong. Your arms are working. The back of your arms is really tense. It seems like nothing is happening, but when you are really present and engage yourself, a lot is happening there. You push with the bottom of your hands toward your thigh. You push, you push, you push. Your arms are working. Your spine is elongating. Your feet, your butt is shaking. There is a lot going on here. And you try to put your shoulder really towards the floor. And you elongate and you push and you push. And you let go. And you feel, For me, it works a lot in the middle of the shoulder blade when I relax. And this is really good, really good. And you breathe. And now you do again the rib cage exercise, where you hold the rib cage and you do. Sometimes it's like impatient to get back the breath, you know? It's like he wants to be in you, and it's great. Sometimes it's so strong, but it's like when you get the breath in, it's like a ball down that is like chung, like that. It's really, really interesting. So maybe I'm gonna do a last exercise. So I do each exercise like twice, and I try to stay 1 minute in each exercise twice, and with the breathing that takes also half a minute, you know, or 1 minute. So, you know, you can do like 15-20 minutes of yoga like that, and you already do a lot. And it's mostly for me is about awareness, to be present, to be, and to feel the space inside my body, like I'm traveling inside. When I am in this posture, I'm like breathing and I'm like feeling the space. And what is very interesting is that when I don't do yoga for some days, and it happened to me to don't do for some weeks, after I have a thirst to go back, I'm like dying to go back. And when I go back, I always discover something new inside. It's so unknown. Can you imagine? It's like we are going to Mars and we don't even know our planet. So it's the same. We do things and we don't even know our body, how it's working, how it is inside, how this miracle can exist, you know. So when you do that, you be more and more in touch, and you can locate your organs. You have, you know, you can check online the organs, and when you do that, sometimes I am thinking of my heart and I tell him I love you, and I am with my liver and I say, oh, I'm bringing you very good things here, you know, and my spleen here, and my stomach, and my intestine, and it's like, and my kidney in the back. When I put my back on the floor, I think about my kidney and my surrenal, my glands, and my thyroid, and it's like I'm communicating with them by that, and it's like it's difficult. It's like be really with myself, by my body, by and my higher self, because I'm present to that amazing body. It's fantastic, no? So I'm gonna do a last exercise that I love to do, that is about we had that, and this in a way is the opposite. So we have the feet like that, also close to the butt. And instead of pushing with here, we're going to have the arms up. So the head is still, the chin down, and we push with my thighs are very strong. And I'm going to raise in breathing. When I do that, I inhale and I squeeze here. And I'm going to raise one arm, one side of my body. So I do that. I squeeze to push that on the floor. And I raise one arm. And I am really squeezed here. This works abdominals. And I'm really pushing in the floor with my feet. And this is squeezing. So I try to reach the ceiling with that hand. And I go back. And again, I breathe. I squeeze all down there. I put my lower back really flat on the floor. And I raise that. But my lower back is on the floor. My head can go a little. It's a great feeling to feel the weight of my head. You can look, you can try to feel what is good. Me, I love to be like that. And it's cracking a little bit in my up vertebra, a little. So it's readjustment. You can be in a way your own osteopath, it's a readjustment. And after I'm going to do the other side. The basic is really to push your feet on the floor, to have your thighs really strong, your abdominals really strong, because when you breathe, what you're going to do and you raise, you pull your lower back on the floor very strongly. This works your abdominals. So I breathe, and I pull, push, and I raise. And I let go of my head. But this is really tense. This is really working. And I raise towards the ceiling. And this is good. It's really the back of my shoulder blade. And I go down. So you can count like 30 counts, breathing there, staying there, trying to reach the ceiling more and more, You relax and you start again. You breathe, you squeeze everything. You see, I'm like that, I'm relaxed. I squeeze everything. This is very tense. And now I breathe, I squeeze, and I go. And I go towards the ceiling. But this is still really strong here. And I let my head go to feel. And I love the feeling when I squeeze and I go up there. This is working. The under my arm is working as well. And I go back there. And my neck is working. And now I do both arms. So it's the same. I breathe. I bring my chin at the beginning. I squeeze down there. I push my feet on the floor. I breathe. I squeeze. And I go up. I'm going to reach you there. I go up. And this is good in between the shoulder blades. And I can let my head go. And I go up, and I go up. And I push with this is strong. And I let do. And you can stay 30 seconds there. And again. So. And like that. And I can stay there. Like I'm gonna touch this ceiling. I'm gonna hug you. This is good in between the shoulder blades, the heart center area. It's really, really good. Voila, I think that's it for today. And you can do again the breathing. In between every posture, you do that breathing with a lot of consciousness, bringing a lot of presence in your body and feeling also the space outside of your body. This is going to make you more and more in touch with your inner power and be more and more feel everywhere you go with this wholeness and you feel secure. And when something is not right for you, you feel it. So you go somewhere else. It's like you bring with you all this big entity, and this thing gonna receive from that invisible part that you are, you're gonna receive messages, information that's gonna make you taking another direction, turning there, changing your mind, doing things like that. And like that, it's quite magical. It's really like feeling that you have an automatic pilot, like a guide, and you know, sometimes I'm ready to go and I say, oh no, I'm gonna change my sunglasses, and I come back, and it can seem futile, it can seem, you know, this is nonsense, you are great like that. But during the time I come back home and I listen to that voice, and I, instead of say, oh, you are crazy, I'm fine like that little voice who told me, go and change sunglasses, makes me coming back home and going back to my car. And maybe this 1 or 2 minutes was a delay for something that could happen or not happen. So there are nothing that are silly. When you have these messages, don't think it's silly, because sometimes it can spare you things that can be not really pleasant. So, and sometimes you can say, oh, I should listen my voice. I knew it. Yeah. So listen to it. Okay. So I'm gonna switch off now. I cannot take question because I'm a little bit space out with that little breathing and thing. I hope you liked it, and I thank you very much to watch, and I wish you a very good day or very good night, and enjoy yourself. Go on the floor, enjoy it, run, put a nice music or no music, just feel how it's beautiful. My back feels so good now, you know. It's simple. Bye bye. Ah.